Good morning. It's been a while, maybe 3 weeks, for a good reason. I was on holiday. Today we are in Helsinki in Finland and we are here for a job, actually, a filming job. We're gonna film an exhibition of furniture designers which is set inside this building and my back. I want to share some tips, the camera gear I'm using and what to do in these kind of events. Without any further ado, let's start rolling. I've been hired by the Japanese company Tachi Isu, which produces mainly standing chairs, and you can check it out. And that's actually what I'm using for video editing. So definitely go and check their website. But what I want to do today is to cover these kind of events in terms of filming. So we're going to share some tips, camera gear, and what to do in these situations. What we're going to do, we're going to go into POV mode. So I'm going to spin the GoPro, which is on top of my main camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinematography 4K, all the gear listed down below. Before we start rolling, actually, the first thing you want to have is a brief by the company itself. So you have an idea of what you have to film. And they want to film a bit of the wide angles of the landscape and the environment. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this big monument here, which is a logo of the actual building. And then you wanna grab some wide angles of the building itself. So we're gonna start with that. Remember, establishing shots are key for this type of videos. All right, let's start with some establishing shots. As you can see, the big logo, as I mentioned over there, we're gonna go through this fence just to give some different perspective. I zoom in, is a 16-35 lens, Canon lens. Make sure you white balance properly and expose properly. So I'm gonna add some more temperature here. I'm at 5000 in terms of temperature, filming at 60 frames per second to have some slow motion and be able to play with it. And I've got an ND filter as well on top of my lens, which is a 16-35 Canon. The ND filter is a variable ND filter, which has different levels of neutral density. And as I go, I try to move slightly to the left. So I think this is a good angle as well. It's because I've got the staircases, it looks quite urban, and then I've got the main building over there at the back. So let's try to get this shot as well at 16 millimeters. Today we're filming handheld, which is the easiest and quickest way for me to film these kind of events. You can use a tripod as well, it's very handy for these kind of situations, especially for the panning and tilting, showing the establishing shots and so on. But again, I just feel so comfortable with my hands, and that's how we're filming. Right, another establishing shot of this big logo here. This is actually more symmetric, it's really nice with the sun hitting the M right there. And what I can do is literally to place my camera on top of this pillar. So I have a more stable image, simple as that. And we're gonna take this shot right here. So when you got symmetric things, try to keep it in the center, keep the subject in the center perfectly, that's it. Colors are nice as well. The red and blue of the sky are contrasting, so it's really nice. It would be nice to do a time lapse with some people maybe going through, but I don't have any. Another wide angle of the location, and another tip is to use anything you can to make your shot more stable. In this case, I've got this pole right here, so I'm just leaning into it, as so, just to keep my image more still, basically, especially when you're doing handheld shooting. There you go. This is the shot I'm taking. Still at 16 millimeters. Now I'm at 35 millimeters, which makes it more difficult to keep the image stable. And that's why you need to lean into something. Also, I've got two rods under the camera, which are placed against my chest, and that again gives me more stability for the filming. So how about some people passing through here, which is great. Okay, that's another key feature of this video. You want to show people, especially going to our stand, so the stand I'm filming for, and that's what I'm trying to do. So grab as many people as you can going towards, you know, whatever you are filming. Like in this example, look at these people here. I'm gonna switch from the 16-35 to the 70-200 lens. So that's gonna make me play a bit more with the depth of field. And we're gonna try to get the trams coming in. We try to get the number in front of it. We just wait for it to approach and we try to follow with the focus as well, which is a bit hard with this lens. So we're gonna go down to maybe 100 millimeters. There you go. And that's a nice shot you can also use as a transition as the tram is going through. So as I mentioned, the good thing of this lens is to play with the bokeh. We're gonna try to get the flag over there at 200 millimeters. And you can keep this building on the side as well, just to put something in the foreground and give some depth to the image. Alright, don't forget to get some stuff again from the seat itself to show where you are. Like these graffitis are really nice. So with the 70-200 we're gonna grab some. As I mentioned, with the bokeh, maybe try to put something in the foreground. It could be just a simple pole like this. And look at the difference here. You can play with it and also move around a little bit to give some dynamism to the image. Then here instead now with the 70-200 we can take more or less the same shots we got before with a wide lens, just to have a variety of different clips. And that's either for you during the video editing or for your client as well, in case he didn't like the wide angle. So you can literally grab some details here. We're gonna do the same with the entrance of the building over there. So I moved inside, guys, and I'm switching again to the 16-35 lens because I want to get some wide angles of the indoors. And I'm going to show you this shot right here now because we want to be creative. As I mentioned, we're going to use escalators as a stabilizer. I actually just removed the ND filter because it was too dark in here. And you need to adjust also the temperature. You want to go maybe a bit cooler. There you go. I'm gonna set the lens to 16 millimeters and we are gonna roll down the stairs. So here, guys, what you want to do, set up your camera, then you move into the escalators and you simply let yourself go. And we have a nice stabilized cinematic shot of the environment. Okay, don't forget to set up your temperature right, because there's a different temperature between indoors and outdoors usually, especially with artificial lights. Like check this shot here, for example. If I want to go from here to there, my temperature and exposures are completely different, so you might want to cut between the two. All right, folks, we're gonna do some cheating and we're gonna grab some random people and pretend they are in our stand, basically. Just record as many people as you can, cheering, greetings, and we can cut it in our video. Close-ups, anything, any action, drinking, that kind of sort of thing, smiling, we like it. Like this shot as well. And maybe try to cut out the other logos of the other brands. Here we are, guys. This is the stand of Taichi. There you go. I'm going to show you a couple of things here. I've got the 70-200 lens. We're going to film some details of the stand itself, and then we're going to switch to the wide angle again. For these kind of things, you want to get the logos for sure. And the problem you might face indoors are the artificial lights, which are flickering, and there's not much you can do about it unless you try with these different frame rates and shutter speed. But sometimes you can't really get rid of it. You might want to change the temperature as well. We're going to go a bit cooler, something like 3000 indoors. As I have a long lens, I'm going to get a bit further away from the stand and use one of these tables, actually. Why not, as a tripod, and trying to grab the stand in a wider angle, something like this. And actually I can play with the focus, so starting from out of focus and getting into focus. Another tip is to have the focus peaking on your camera, so you can actually see what you're focusing on, because some cameras are not very good in that, but the Blackmagic is. And there you go. So we start out of focus, and then we get into focus. So we're now showing the actual product. This is a compost table, so you can put your leftovers here, and they will turn into compost that you can use to feed your plants. And we're gonna show the inside, how that works with this tracking shot backward. And this is actually a compost toilet, so whatever you do in there, it will be turned into compost. Crazy stuff. Go and check it out again, these brands here. And yeah, as we're here, let's take some of these logos. So I switched to the 16-35 lens right now, and I simply gonna move to the left. Also, we're gonna take some wide angle of the actual toilet here. So this shot right there. Try to keep your subject in the center. In this case, it's quite symmetric, so it works. And I move slightly and gently backward again. And bear in mind, guys, even if your shot is not as stable, you can stabilize it in Premiere Pro later on in your video editing software. Let's not forget to get some details again of the products. So the compost is the main thing here. That's what we want to show. If you have any leaflet, flyers, all this kind of stuff, again, that's helpful for your editing, guys. Don't forget. Like so. Okay, if you have anyone available, guys, that can help you out, do some action as well. For example, the table here can open up. So I'm gonna ask an amico to open the table for me, please. There she is. And we can just take this shot. Wait a sec. Okay, when you guys are ready, no. And okay, go. Great. So take some action that can make the video more interesting. We do it again without speaking. So this is something else you can, guys, grab the textures, patterns, fabrics, everything that can give some quality and value to the product itself. That's something you want to grab. I hope the video helped, guys, and if it did, hit the subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed the tips. That's what I do more or less when I film these kind of events. For now, this is a goodbye from Helsinki, Finland. Go and travel whenever you can. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon.